Hi, today we're going to talk about promoting our online content using social media. So this is really about driving traffic to a landing page or a website using social media. So as we've talked about in some of the earlier videos, we are going to first really be clear about what our goals are. And when you think about it, obviously you want more people to come and visit your website, draw more page views, and just increase the overall traffic on your site. But I think you should really be aware of what is the experience that you would like your potential customer or customer to have. So you're driving them to your website, and that's great. Is the experience that you're looking for that, oh, they found us on Twitter, and so we're actually able to drive them to our website, and then we just drop them there, and we hope that they buy our products? Or is there, what would be better is if you drive them, into a blog post or a thought leadership piece that is going to, build their, make it more likely that they're going to engage with you in a positive way. So when you're thinking about what the best way to drive volume of traffic is, it's really important that you've already sort of mapped out what you want that customer experience to be, what you want that customer to do, what you want them to learn, and what you want them to feel. One of the things that I sometimes do is sort of draw a map saying, okay, this is sort of our social media spigot where we are trying to drive content from. What do we want them to come out of there knowing, and where do we want them to go next? So just thinking about that is a really important part of this, because simply driving clicks shouldn't be a goal in and of itself. So when we think about promoting content, one of the most important things is actually having good content for your audience. So you should understand where your audience operates, where they are looking for content, because as much as you might hope that they are hanging out on Twitter or Facebook, saying, I'd really love to learn more about farm machinery. I hope that somebody posts some great information about why their farm machinery is great, so I can go to their website and learn more about it. That might not be the most effective way to engage with good content. In that example I gave with farm machinery, it might be that I'm going to post some pictures of some old, really classic, cool tractors and use that as that first hook to get people interested in our website, in what we are, and in our channels, and then use that to drive them into the more product-oriented content. But think about what they might be there for, and as much as you would hope that they're going to be there for learning about you, they probably have their own reasons for being there, and it's important to understand those if you'd like to draw them onto the rest of your content. There's a lot of competition for eyeballs in social media. There's tons of cat videos, tons of other kinds of videos that they might want to look at and share. So it's important that your content be related to your business or your product, but also that it really is interesting and valuable to your audience. So I have 3 really basic rules that I've mostly developed for blog posts, but I also apply to any kind of social media I use for our business, and that's all content has to be valuable, original, incredible. So when I say that the content has to be valuable, this is sort of a content marketing concept where even if this person was to never become our customer, it would be worth their time and worth their effort to engage with our content, because it's just worthwhile. It's something that they're going to read, or they're going to watch a video and they're going to say, wow, that's cool. There's a video that Corning Glass did a few years ago which just showed, I think it was like the future world of glass. And I'm never going to be an industrial glass customer, right? But this video that they showed was amazing. It just was like this really creative, sort of futuristic but kind of realistic way in which people were using glass panels to compute and do all kinds of cool things. And so that was cool to me, and I liked it, and I watched it even though I might not ever be a customer. Now, granted, you still want to target your customers, but that's sort of what I mean by valuable content. Things that would be valuable to your audience on its own, that it kind of stands on its own legs. Original content we have, especially in big companies, sometimes an issue where we'll find a good piece of content and then we'll just sort of spread it all over the place. And there are ways to do that are effective, but if you're using the same content that everybody else is, or very similar content, there's nothing that really differentiates you and tells your customers that there's a reason they should be paying attention to you instead of anyone else in social media. So it's important that you do generate that original content, whether that's a LinkedIn article that either you write or the business owner would write, or something else that's just different and new and unique in order to engage with your customers. And finally, to be credible. So this rule came up because we had a lot of different people who were contributing to our marketing efforts. And this included people who were marketers more than subject matter experts. And they might be creating social media posts or LinkedIn shares that were great from a marketing point of view, but weren't necessarily written in the tone and with kind of the context and knowledge of our customers. So if your customers are barbers, for example, there's a certain level of jargon and knowledge and understanding that they would have about that industry that a marketer wouldn't have. So it's really important that all of your content be credible, because pretty much any customer is going to be able to really quickly tell when something was created only for marketing purposes and only from a marketing perspective versus when it was created by somebody who really understands the business or the industry or the activity that you're trying to market. So valuable, original, credible. Finally, be really cool. It's easy to say, obviously harder to do, but you got to be out there and put something out in social media that's fun, that the user is going to have a great experience with. So I think you really need to think about think of this as the really creative aspect of how you can engage in social media. Because I think a lot of people who are interested in social media have this interesting variety of skills, right? There's a lot of analytics involved, there's a lot of writing involved, and then writing is creative too, I guess, but there's this creative aspect of it where you get to just go make really cool stuff. So think about what kind of images. Obviously images are important across any kind of social media, and we see much higher engagement rates with those. But what kind of images and ideas are you putting out there that your customers would want to engage with? This section on creating great content, as I was putting it together, in some ways could sort of eat all of the other things that we've talked about for lunch, because if you create great content that's original, valuable, and credible, and is really cool, everything else is going to work really, really well. So if you focus on creating great content and you can deliver that great content, your reputation, those influencers are going to want to share you even if you don't reach out to them. You're going to drive traffic to your website, and everything else is going to become much, much easier for you, and you're going to be much more successful. So really think about what content you can produce, and if there's one area to really focus your efforts, it's creating that great social content to give to your customers. Thanks.